My father did not mean to cross the seas as a fist. My father did not mean to cross the seas as a fist, but the lilt to his dictionary English was not welcome here. So he used his fists on his woman to be heard here. My father did not mean to cross the seas as a fist. He feels that life is hard here. Mangete, life is not what it should be here. Not when you are brown, not when you are Muslim, thick-haired, dark-skinned. 5 prayers are punctuating your day. 5 rivers are pulling you back out to tide. These pavements are not paved of gold here, ready for him to walk his walk down yellow brick roads here. Instead, it feels like drowning out here. And there, way over there, my brother watches our father, trying so hard not to be our father. He questions everything, second guesses himself, wrestles with himself, stresses himself about living in mirrors, trying so hard not to lose himself that I question, what does he see when he looks in the mirror? Does he see what I see, or is Shaitan whispering a different lie into his ears here? Holding out that lie into his fears here. Right here, the monsters inside are much worse here, where the devil is always trying to weigh down on you, telling you to replace your fear, your repentance, with shame or anger or fists. My brother, does it feel like the burying of bodies out here? Does the thickness of it hold like sap against your rib cage? My brother, do you struggle to breathe through it all? Does its feathered, searching settle like a deep, depressing regret into the clay of you? Full of questions, I watch it from over here, way over here. Because I don't know what to say to these men. Mostly because I don't know men. I am a many-faced witch. I am all mothers and all sisters. We are all of the words lost to the angels. We are all of the words taught to us by the Almighty. We don't understand how words can build like dams in the back of the throat. How pain displaces hearts like mangla. How pain circulates like a spoke wheel, pricking fear into the back of the chest, letting it gather up like a lost language, lost words, lost focus, lost hope, lost fathers, lost sons, lost love, that fear of becoming the lost ones. That fear, it sits in the lining of the stomach, roots itself into the makeup of our DNA, forces itself into the next generation of man all the way back from Adam, and we know no one ever meant to come into this dunya as a fist, as an act of violence, to hold themselves over the head of loved ones as a boulder, as a blunt force, sending themselves through the threads of time, as a shame that we don't know how to let go at the tip of our tongues here. We don't learn from our own stories here. The roots of this tree strangle a different kind of meaning into family, one where fathers walk out and leave behind fist prints. So, of course, our understanding of love is the most complicated of all things. It sits at the root of all of our fears. And yet, love is as close to us as the jugular vein, down the road from us as Mian Baksh, real enough to us as Saif al-Maluk. Love is waiting for us to be reunited at the foot of Mount Arafat. And here we are, silly, complicated people, trying so hard to run from it. Because love can be this all-encompassing forgiveness that we don't know how to accept. You hold your hands out in a dua like this. No, if you pray only once, like the Jummah prayer on a Friday, your dua list is a bit longer and a bit bigger. So you hold your hands out in a dua like this. But you don't know how to bring your prayer back into yourself like this. Sometimes the silence of sin is easier to hold on to than to beg for that dua to be answered. I guess my question is all wrong. Because I greet my brother with, How are you? How are you? And he answers, and maybe a little too quickly, he answers, I'm good, sis. Everything is good. Everything is fine. You? And instead, I wish I had greeted him with, Ya Ali. Ya Ali. How is your soul today? How is your heart today? Whose burden are you carrying today? Whose words are stifling you today? Whose shadow is pressing down on you today? Whose history is trying to predict your future today? I want to offer him something much better than, that's good to hear, bro. But boulders sit between siblings like pain here. Love is lost in our language here. We know that no one ever meant to come into this dunya as a fist not to be heard here. I want to hear you talk about how you are not an end point, but how you are a start point. How this dunya has not erased from you that soft point. I want to hear you talk about how today you are that clean slate, that fresh page. How all the strength and courage in your words will be reason enough for this poem to unwrite itself someday, one day, inshallah.